Just started tearing down camp for the memories. Figure I show you what you have. Falls are way down there. It was a nice white machine noise night. This is the trail right here. Luckily, did not have to take any shoes off. This day was a late start. We were usually up and walking by 5 or 6 a.m., but we actually slept in to about 9 o'clock because we couldn't even pick up our food drop until about 11 o'clock, and we only had 3 miles to walk. Johnson Pond Road is 63 miles through the 100-mile wilderness. We met a car that came from the hostel we had started at in order to get our buckets that we had preloaded with the second week of supplies. They also took some of our garbage from us and were able to sell us any additional items that maybe we needed in an emergency. I didn't record much on this 6th day. It was 12 miles of rocks and roots and bogs. Although it was dry, it was a little tough. And then towards the end of the day, as we finally started getting some elevation and some things to look at, it was starting to rain just as I got into Logan Brook Lean-To. We have had some nice, gentle forest walking this morning. Been able to walk with a couple of the guys that I've been in a bubble with. We usually end up camping together, but they're just a bit faster than me. But we spent the morning walking together. Beautiful weather right now, as you can see. Apparently around 4 o'clock is when the rain, maybe thunderstorms, are going to start. So, hoping to make it this last 3.5 miles. It's flat right now, but 3.5 miles uphill and get to camp before 4 o'clock. It is now 2:20. So, not quite sure about that, but I'll be close. This is, hold on. I can never believe it when I watch other people's videos and they're like, I don't know where I am. I'm like, how can you not know where you are? And it's happened to me. Logan Brook Lean-To. We're on the side of Whitecap Mountain. We'll be going up that direction tomorrow. I've heard that it has steps to the top. It is going to be raining and thunderstorming. So we will do our best to boogie over Whitecap. I think the next two or three bumps of mountains, rolling elevation. Here, I can show it to you. That one right over my thumb is what we'll be going up tomorrow. Right there. And then we got 1, 2, 3 little bumps there before we're going to Carl A. Newhall Shelter. We decided to do that because it'll be a shorter mileage day, but because it'll be elevation and rain and thunderstorms, we wanted to make sure that we gave ourselves a little bit shorter of a day in case we ran into any difficulty. So I'm going to get set up right here. Should be out of the wind, certainly that direction, because we're on a slope right now. It goes up like 45 degrees over there. And then the shelter will give me a little bit of protection as well. Rains are coming. Try to stay as clean as possible, but I'm pretty gross right now. We've started to hit some elevation. We are Like I think I put in the previous video, we are here at Logan Brook Shelter. We're gonna be going over Whitecap Mountain tomorrow morning. And let's see if I can show you guys a little bit more of the campsite that we're dealing with. That is the look of the shelter from up front. And I didn't bring my camera with me the first time when I had come down here for water initially. But it's pretty beautiful. So let me show it to you. I gotta say, Maine really is hard to compete with. This is just the kitchen sink for this place. Got our resupply today and doing the math, and we're going to do a shorter day tomorrow because of the rain and the elevation. I'm pretty sure I've got enough food to last, but I think it's going to make our last day into Monson a pretty long one, which I'm just going to have to suffer through. I am ready to have some clean clothes, and I'm only on day 6. Tomorrow will be day 7. Some cool people I'm hiking with. This day marked the beginning of our actual climb into elevation. We were going to be going over 4 peaks. Good morning from Whitecap Mountain. This is a trail that I just came up. It's about a 45-degree angle. You can't really quite tell. But it's been tough. But then there's this. And here we have the other side of Whitecap Mountain. Looks like the ups are finally over. And I'm gonna start walking across this rock field and then down the rock field. Down the other side of the mountain, I think there's 3 more smaller bumps to go. See how far we can get today. Can't believe it was supposed to rain. Whitecap Mountain was the first of many mountains we would find that had these granite steps installed into the side of the mountain. It was really incredible to think about how much work it was to walk straight up with pickaxes or whatever tools it required to install these steps into the side of really unyielding earth, and it's certainly something to be very thankful for. You know that none of these people were paid. We were supposed to do 7.7 miles today, and I think within an hour we'll have gotten to that point already, and that'd be 10 o'clock. So I imagine we're going to be pushing on, which is a good thing. Although looking at the forecast, once I got some signal, it looks like the rain thunderstorms are coming in at about, I think it was noon to 1 o'clock. But by then we should be over the elevation and back down below tree line again. So it's a good thing. Makeshift steps or not, going down these mountains was usually even more harrowing than climbing up them. In the wet conditions, if you did slip, the only thing that would break your fall was the little mini granite boulders you were climbing down. By the time we got to camp, everybody's socks were at least moist, if not soaked, from the intermittent rain. It was really starting to do a number on my feet, so we tried to dry our socks out a little bit over the fire. When I came out here, I had to plan for food for Katahdin and the 100-mile wilderness. You can get a food drop halfway through, which we did, but you got to plan pretty far ahead just to make sure you have enough calories and you could fit it all and yada yada. I had wanted to have an asparagus every day. So one day up and down Katahdin, and I figured I'd be able to make it through the 100-mile wilderness in 9 days. So I needed to have 10 asparagus, one for each day. When I got my food all out after the food drop, I realized that instead of 10 asparagus, I had actually packed 11 asparagus. That 11th one was a spare, I guess. It is Tuesday morning, about 5 o'clock. Packing up camp. I don't know if I had said yesterday, we had originally said we were going to do 7.7 miles, a short day, and then because the rain didn't come, we were going to push on, but a couple of the people in our group wanted to stay at the shelter, and we thought it was a better idea to stick together, which I'm still good with now, because it would have meant, if we had pushed on to the next possible stopping point, then it would have meant going over the Chairback Mountains, all three peaks, in the rain that was supposed to be before 5 a.m. It was like 100% chance of like a half inch to a full inch, and it's supposed to be a lot harder than it is right now, and it's 5 a.m. right now, so the weather forecasts have been kind of all over the place. But all that's to say, I'm looking forward to a shower and a washing these clothes. That we actually were able, with all the extra time, to go down to the brook last night or yesterday afternoon, start a fire, dry out our socks, go down to the brook, wash our clothes, so they don't stink as much, but things are still just damp. Am I enjoying myself? Yes, I am enjoying kind of challenging myself to be away from the creature comforts for an extended period of time. And we're coming up on the 9 to 10 day mark, 10 days. But I'm ready for a little bit of the creature comforts again. I don't think that I will be going 10 days without hitting a town again. And that's good to know that, like, we got the tough part out in the beginning. And I don't know that I'll be spending the night in town every 5 days, but I will definitely, I think, be getting washed up and taking a shower on a more regular basis. Anyway, so can't complain about the bad weather forecasting. Yeah, it is raining a little bit and we may not have much to see today, and I don't know if I'll be able to take much video if there's rain out because I don't want to get things wet, but yeah, I mean, it was like 90 to 100% chance of absolute deluge this morning, and not yet. Not complaining, just not yet. And here we go again. No biggie, but I mean, it is wet today and it looks like it just ends in this bog, so I'm gonna have to pull up mapping, and I can't tell where the hell the trail is. Heck, sorry. We're gonna be crossing this creek in a few miles downstream. Apparently it's not supposed to be that deep. I hope that's the case. I have no idea what this is. Like, looks like it has a mouth. It's like a Venus flytrap made out of like frickin' laminated cardboard is what the texture feels like. I'm gonna have to take a picture of it. I got an app that's supposed to tell you what things are. Hopefully it doesn't tell me that I'm just poking in a pile of scat, but that's no poop. Yeah, that's weird. All right, made it about 5 miles, I think, 5.5. Feet hurt a little bit. I don't know if the boots are too small, but just feels like my feet are bruised. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Might be too much weight in my pack, too much weight on me. I may mess around with getting new shoes in a couple days once we get to Monson. But I was gonna show you. That was the really easy trail that we came from. It's been like that for like half a mile. It's part of the Gulf Haggis trailhead system. This is apparently one of the last old growth white pine stands left in America. And there's a 5.6 mile loop that goes around a bunch of waterfalls and some of the really big stands of white pine that they have here. That's why it's so nice there for about half a mile. And I don't think that we will be rock hopping across this one, so I'm gonna have to sit down on some of these benches here. And you're not supposed to wear Crocs, but I'm gonna put on Crocs, see how it goes. And I really pray that I don't dump anything in the water. I don't care if I get wet. Gotta keep my puffy, my sleeping bag, and most importantly, you dry. Well, I had been thinking about how nice it would have been to ice my feet coming down the mountain, and that was definitely it. Look at that sexy Crocs and rain kilt. Not a skirt, right? Made it. Wasn't too bad, just a bunch of river rocks down. It was about knee deep in the center. So, have to get my socks back on and my boots and start moving before I get cold. But thank God it's not like 40 degrees outside right now, or even 50. I don't know how people do it in other months. Feet feel pretty good now.
The bunkhouse.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be in a bunkhouse, I'll jump in there too.
Our last obstacle of the day was navigating something called the rock slide, which was exactly like it sounds, a bunch of car-sized boulders that went straight up about 50 feet or so, which we had to navigate without falling back down the side of the cliff. Obviously, those are my feet. This is the trail we just came up. It's called the Rock Scramble. That is, you're looking probably 35 degrees down right there. We came from over there, and that is the horizon, obviously. Yeah. And this is Chairback Gap shelter that we'll be spending the night at. Nice little bear box for us, which is the first one that we've seen so far. So we've all decided that that means that's a pretty good indication that there's probably a problem bear around. So we'll be using that. That's where I've set up tonight down there, somewhere near the privy. Prevailing winds going the other way, so I don't have to call it Fort Pooh for the night. But just a really nice aspen forest. And the trail that we came up is right here, straight down to the water source at the bottom of the hill. So we all grabbed extra water and punished ourselves with the walk up. I was hurting a little bit in that earlier video doing the big downhill this morning. We've only done 9.9 miles today, but tomorrow's going to be like, I think, 15 in a little bit. I'm going to be waking up super early and trucking through the day. A lot of the team here had issues in the second half of the day today coming up Chairback, the first part of Chairback Mountain through the rock scramble and all the other things that I tried to get photos of or video of earlier. But actually that river crossing early on, my feet were feeling all bruised, like I said, and then walking through that was, you know, we're not getting rest, but that was definitely the ice. And I got those ridiculous stockings I wear, are the nice compression. And maybe being up in the mountains is not the elevation you're supposed to do, but I guess it'll have to do for now for a couple days. But I felt really good this afternoon. Everybody's drying out their shoes there on the shelter roof in the sun. Like I said, I may change from boots. I might not. I kind of like them, but they do take a long time to dry, and my socks are never dry, and that's a problem. Hopefully the sun that has just come out will stay out for a while. Hopefully, if it stays out, we'll get some good pictures and video tomorrow, because we're going over 3 more of the Chairback Mountain peaks tomorrow before we start heading halfway to Monson, so we have a short day to get into town on Thursday. You know what's faster than an escalator? An Escasooner.